Harry under fire. Angry Pier Morgan rips Sussex to shreds after his speech bashing America. Earlier this week, Prince Harry bashed America as he served as the keynote speaker at the United Nations. The British television personality Piers Morgan is now firing back by saying that Harry is being just as disrespectful to his adopted country, the United States, as he has been to his own family members in recent years. Morgan told Fox News that Harry ditched both his home nation and his family to live as a wealthy American civilian in California with his spoiled wife Meghan Markle. They live in an $11 million mansion from which they preach about equality and poverty. I mean, you couldn't make it up, Sean. It's completely ridiculous, Morgan told host Sean Hannity. He went on to warn Harry against being a renegade royal with no official duties who wants to have his royal cake and eat it. As he starts trashing the American Constitution and the American people in the way that he's now doing, in the same way that he and his wife trashed the royal family, Morgan continued, it's not going to end well. When Hannity offered to fly Harry back to London himself, Morgan was not having it, jokingly saying that Harry is revenge for the US sending the Pennsylvania-born socialite Wallis Simpson to England to temporarily destroy the monarchy. In the 1930s, King Edward VIII abdicated the throne to marry Simpson, who was a divorcee. This left the throne to his brother King George VI, who was the father of Queen Elizabeth. It's revenge for Wallis Simpson. You sent Wallis Simpson over to destroy our monarchy. We have sent Harry to go and ruin your life. So sorry about that, Morgan joked, doubling down by saying that Harry's critiques of America are shocking hypocrisy. Morgan then explained that he's long been critical of Meghan and Harry because of the threat he feels that they pose to the monarchy. The reason I've been so exercised about them is I think they are destroying a lot of the magic in the monarchy, Morgan said. They're calling the royals a bunch of callous racists and so on, without producing any hard evidence to support any of these claims, and it's incredibly damaging. Since stepping down as senior royals back in 2020, Meghan and Harry have repeatedly bashed the royal family publicly. Unfortunately for them, this all seems to be catching up to them now. Express royal correspondent Richard Palmer believes Prince Harry's decision to talk about climate change during his UN address saw the Duke raise an issue on which the Sussexes are pretty vulnerable. Pointing to Harry and Meghan's track record of flying in private jets, Mr. Palmer spoke on the latest episode of the Royal Roundup about how the Duke's doom-laden speech laid bare one of the couple's public image weak spots. Mr. Palmer told the Royal Roundup host Pandora Forsyth, well, it was quite a cataclysmic speech, it was just doom-laden, wasn't it? He talked about the pandemic, he talked about climate change. Of course, climate change, him and Meghan are pretty vulnerable on that. To a point, all politicians, all members of the royal family are vulnerable on it because they do quite a lot of traveling for their jobs. Where I think he was particularly vulnerable is their penchant for traveling on private jets, continued the royal expert. So they came over for the Jubilee in an executive jet, which we think would cost roughly estimated at around £160,000. And those private jets rack up a much bigger carbon footprint than if you were traveling on a passenger jet. My understanding is this time they did actually travel, he and Meghan did actually travel on a regular passenger